How's it going, everyone? In this video, we're going to go ahead and test out an age-old wisetail. Supposedly, if you take aluminum foil or an empty soda can, if you put these things around your router's antenna, it will boost the range and signal. So let's go ahead and test these myths out and see if it's really true. The router I'll be using for this test is a MISC Gear Nighthawk. You want a router that has exposed antennas like this one. Now, I actually have a dead zone in my household, and the most common solution I have to solve this is having a Wi-Fi range extender. But to most people, if this method actually works, can be very beneficial, especially if all you need is a couple more feet just to make it across the room. I'm gonna go ahead and test out this myth by taking out my Wi-Fi range extender and trying out 3 different methods. So the 3 most popular methods that have been showing up online the most is the aluminum foil wrapping around the antenna, and then the empty soda cans that you cut and modify to fit around the antennas as well. The last one is the aluminum shield, which pretty much completely covers the rear antennas and taking a lot of space. So what all 3 of these have in common is all they're really doing is reflecting the signal, pointing it at a certain direction, allowing that signal being even stronger since it's only focused on that point. So we're going to be pointing this at the front part of my house since that happens to be the Wi-Fi dead zone. Think of this kind of like a flashlight, how a light bulb uses reflectors in the back to allow that light to be pointed at a certain direction. So the idea seems like it could work, but my theory is what's going to happen is, since that was already a previous dead zone, that doesn't change the fact that there's still structures in the way, like walls, cement, body, doors, etc. So before I begin this test, I did do a control of me just being a couple 10 feet away from my router. Give us an idea what the range should look like once we add the aluminum foils. So we'll be testing the signal strength using this app called Dr. Wi-Fi, and what this does, it allows us to read the decibel milliwatts dBms between us and the router. The lower the number, the higher the connection between us and the router. So during the control test, we saw we were averaging mid-20s to 30s. And just like I predicted, there's no significant increase when it comes to performance, since there's still objects like walls, structures in the way, blocking most of that signal. But there is a small increase. Our normal one is just the regular router with just the basic antennas, but the can seem to be a little bit higher on the negatives, as well as the foil, but not much of an improvement. Now our speed tests, we went ahead and compared the two. Once again, our normal one is just a regular router with the basic antennas, no aluminum foils or can or anything like that. But I can definitely see that the can one and the foil shield, the giant aluminum shield, did enhance it in a small way though, but not by a whole lot. From other previous tests, I noticed that the can and the aluminum shield was always the one that got a little bit more of a better boost compared to the other two. But once again, the end results, they were extremely close with our regular router without any modifications. So I wouldn't really consider this to be an enhanced improvement. So after all that, does aluminum really enhance the router in any significant way? No, not really. The improvement that we saw in real world situation was only, I don't know, like 3 to 5%. Not a whole lot to become really noticeable. Now I watched other videos on YouTube of other people doing this experiment, and some of which actually showed their end results, and they actually did enhance the signal. Most of them were outdoors where there's literally no structures in between them and the router. So yes, in those situations you will see like 100 or a couple hundred feet improvement in range. But if you're trying to get the most range out of your router, it's still best and recommended to be placed in the center of the household as close as possible, or picking up a Wi-Fi repeater and placing that in the appropriate location. Skip the aluminum. It not only takes a lot of space, but it also makes your router look ridiculous. And the numbers that we saw wasn't really worth doing. Well, there we have it. That's the end of this video. But before we end off, comment down below. Let me know if this method is working for you, if you're doing it, as well as what kind of router you have. And if you can, download what kind of numbers you're getting if you could download the Dr. Wi-Fi app. But as always, hope you found this video very informative. If you did, show your gratitude by smashing that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're not, and the other button helps out as well. So, hope to see you guys on the next one. Until next time, peace.